We mentioned, and well, I talked about how it is important that the Democrats don't do like we've seen some folk around here just check out when the numbers overwhelm them, when the odds are against them, instead of continuing to fight because it's the right thing to do.
Hashtag resist. Hashtag resist. Keep fighting. Keep bringing truth to the public, to the American public, all the American public. When the people have the right information in their hands, they can make the right decision.
The Justice Department has withdrawn from the lawsuit implemented by the Obama administration against the state of North Carolina over the bathroom issue.
Well, look, what we're going to see under Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, is a complete retreat from the humane policies which sought to enforce the United States Constitution at all levels from the presidency of Barack Obama. Right now, what you have taking place is the undoing of the good work of the 8 years of President Obama. And the hate manifested in the systemic injustice perpetrated by this Trump Justice Department is something that needs to be resisted in the courts and in the communities across this nation.
Have you seen a new administration under 100 days in office have the kind of infighting that's so obvious with the Trump administration? I mean, it's early on.
Never. And you know, you've got the Bannonites over there, Breitbart, and you've got, and then you have the Wall Street folks over there with Trump, and Jared, his son-in-law, who, by the way, is being schooled by Henry Kissinger. A lot of folks don't know that. But the point I'm making is that what Bannon has found out is that when you go against the Trump family, you suddenly find yourself very isolated in that White House. So you got an ideological battle going on between the Bannonites and the practical politics of Wall Street.
I want you to respond to this. Steve Bannon, the White House chief strategist who reportedly loves a gunfight, may be the wild card the West Wing has to watch out for. What makes him a threat?
Well, first of all, understand the language of President Trump in the last 36 hours. He made it clear to the world that Steve Bannon was a guy that, you know, he hired. He works for him, but that Donald Trump, was his own strategist. What he's really telling the media is you guys have inflated Bannon's worth to me in the White House and the nation. But they have to keep Bannon close to them because he's too much of a loose cannon away from the West Wing if he should go back to Breitbart and start recultivating the relationship with the alt-right. This guy, he basically invited a snake into the sleeping bag.
And was very proud of him.
Very proud of him up to a point. But remember, Donald Trump's allegiance and loyalty is often short-lived outside of his own family.
Jackie, thanks for calling. You're on the air with Representative Sherry Danyogo and Mr. Sam Riddle.
Good morning. I just want to pick up on something that Sam said a minute ago about the Affordable Care Act. Today, the Department of Health and Human Services released a new regulation governing the Affordable Care Act that makes it harder for people to enroll in coverage. And some of the things that this new rule includes would be to cut enrollment periods in half, to allow the sale of Skid B plans to increase out-of-pockets, like deductibles, reduce financial assistance, like the subsidies to help afford coverage, and to remove the federal oversight of provider networks that make sure that people can find a doctor who takes their insurance. So while he is throwing a rock and hiding his hand, and people are looking at what the rock has hit because they're distracted, he's doing some very damaging things that are not being reported by the news because it's not sensational.
I agree with this caller. You know what? It's the media that helped to create and give Trump a platform, and it's the media that should be held accountable for the lack of reporting real news. Let's face it, they have all yielded, or many of them, I should say, have yielded to where do we get our best ratings? And so this foolishness, the dumbing down of America, the ongoing divisive rhetoric that comes out of the Trump administration is what the media is chasing daily and not reporting all of the impact and the destruction that is taking place nationally. And so the people have to do extra work to not just take their news from what you see on the typical channels and what you see floating across the internet, but stay informed. Make sure that you are connected to your Democratic legislators, your Democratic congressional leadership, senators as well, so that you can hear firsthand the information. I never saw one channel highlight the information that Congresswoman Waters provided to us when she came to Detroit. And that's important. And that's what we're missing. And so the media created this monster, and so it's the media that owns him, and he turns against them.
Mildred, the role of the media can't be overstated because the media shapes perceptions and mindsets of literally hundreds of millions of Americans, and even more than that, billions worldwide. And when we look at, for example, the racist comments of Jeffrey Hunt, that silver-haired guy, Reaganite, that always was speaking for Trump even when he appeared to be losing, Hunt yesterday, this white-haired guy, said that Donald Trump was the Martin Luther King Jr. of hell.
Sickening.
How maddening is that?
Are you serious?
He said that on the air. Now, the brother that was on there tried to check him, but he didn't go hard enough. I mean, that's one of the most racist statements anyone could ever make. You're afraid to say it because someone will accuse you of playing the race card. Well, if I had race cards stacked to the ceiling, I'd play every one of them in this nation right now.
568-1200 is our number. We're going to go to break, and when we come back, we've got some, of course, some more issues we have to discuss here. And my guests, Sherry Danyogo and Sam Riddle, are going to weigh in on those as well. And of course, there's some juicy political, local stuff happening in Motown.
All right. That was Sam, folks. Yeah, that was me.
Wow. We'll be right back, so stay with us.
All right.
Over 3 million businesses use Indeed.